Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta, reaching you live from Abuja. And I would want to let you know that we'll be having an abridged version of Nationwide today. Now we begin from the National Assembly, where the Senate has approved the issuance of 10.06 billion naira promissory note program to Kogi State government. It also includes a bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligation of the federal government refund to states for projects executed on behalf of the federal government. The Senate has received the presidential request for the approval of the said sum on the 15th of October 2019, as it is the only state in its batch that did not receive its own refund. The funds were said to have been spent on capital projects, mainly road reconstructions. Senate also mandated its Committee on Women Affairs, Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, and that of National Security and Intelligence to carry out investigative hearing on child trafficking in Nigeria and proffer solutions within 2 weeks. Now, the House of Representatives says correcting the flaws of existing tax regimes in Nigeria will further enhance the ease of doing business policy of government. To this end, the House passed for second reading a bill for an act to amend the Companies Income Tax Act. The bill seeks to make provisions for the review of tax laws to make them more responsive to the tax reform efforts of the federal government. Sections to be amended include those dealing with value-added tax, custom excise tariff, personal income tax, stamp duties and petroleum profit tax. Lawmakers, while debating the bill, pointed to increased revenue for government, provision of incentives to investors and elimination of double taxation. The amendment will also update tax laws in tune with international standards. Members of the diplomatic community in Juba have commended Nigeria for leading and supporting a successful transition program and prevailing peace in South Sudan. Correspondent Usman Aliu reports from Juba.
November 12 could have been a new beginning for the South Sudan, but now a government of national unity is to be formed in less than 100 days. Nigeria's special envoy signed agreement with the National Peace Transition Committee on the support of the $300 million to South Sudan.
We met today to look at the implementation of the objectives of that peace agreement. We discussed what is left to be done.
The gift that they have given to the people of South Sudan is in the amount of $300,000, and there is a specific function of that money, and it is to boost our ailing process in the security arrangements.
The diplomatic community, comprising more than 30 representatives from different African countries, say Nigeria's role in South Sudan provides illustrations of good leadership in the continent.
Because it will bring more focus not only within your government but on the rest of the continent.
We really need to chart a new narrative for us as Africans. We really have to redefine ourselves.
While in Juba, Minister of Foreign Affairs visited John Garang Mausoleum and the family of the man South Sudan is believed was among the founding fathers of the country. In Juba, South Sudan, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
In the meantime, as the peace initiative of Zamfara State government progresses, repentant bandits and members of the outlawed vigilante Yan Saikai have surrendered more weapons and ammunition. Leaders of the hitherto warring parties delivered the weapons, including AK-47 rifles, den guns and pistols, shortly after a meeting with Governor Bello Mohammed at Government House Gusau. Salamatu Umar reports.
It could be recalled that Governor Bello Mohammed had a similar meeting with Fulani and Sake and repentant bandits where they surrendered their ammunition and discussed on how to stop insurgency in Zamfara State. During a meeting at the government house Gusau, the repentant bandits promised to allow peace to continue to reign in the state. Some of these repentant bandits almost broke the promise they made earlier to live in peace, which necessitated Governor Bello's action of summoning another meeting. Governor Bello Muhammad commended the leaders of the repentant bandits for keeping their promise and called on them to stop buying ammunition and warned their boys in the bush to stop kidnappings. The governor assured people of Zamfara State of his commitment to end killing of people, kidnappings, cattle rustling, and other armed banditry activities in the state.
So we thank God that by God's grace, within limited time, as we promised, Zamfara will be the best peaceful state in Nigeria, inshallah.
In their separate remarks, Commissioner of Police Zamfara State Usman Nagogo and Special Advisor on Security Matters to the Governor Abubakar Muhammad Dauran said the ongoing effort of the state government to bring to an end criminal activities in the state has recorded 70% success. Some of the repentant bandits narrated their experiences. Similarly, meeting will continue on monthly basis from Gusau. Salamat Umar Abdullahi, NTA News.
And away from security matters, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the public presentation of a book titled The Challenges of Good Governance in Nigeria in honor of Chief Bisi Akande, founding chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, is a testimony of his dedication, passion and his love for his fatherland, Nigeria. Anthony Forsin reports.
The 518-page book takes a cursory look at the Nigerian state from the political point of view, economics, administration, resource control, energy, among other issues of the nation's nerve. It is dedicated to Chief Bisi Akande as a prudent and transparent manager of men and resources and an astute politician.
A politician that believes first and foremost in good governance and whose understanding of good governance is how positively people are impacted by governance. And I'm glad that speaker after speaker spoke glowingly of how Chief Bisi Akande, from his days in the 60s to his days as a member of the Constitutional Assembly in the 70s, and bouncing back to the governor of Osun State, and ending up as the probably longest serving chairman of the People's Political Party. One thing that stands out is his integrity.
Lai Mohammed equally shared lessons to be learned from the legacies of Chief Bisi Akande.
The sole purpose of being in politics is to render good governance, is to improve governance, is to ensure that the conditions of people and the country improves. It's not about, your own bank account or how many houses you have. Today is not being celebrated for the number of houses it has.
The 518-page book is divided into 12 chapters. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.